Hello, and welcome to Mustang Magazine. I'm Ronnie Marshalsea.
And I'm Juliana Shalmo. Mustang Magazine is a show produced entirely by broadcast journalism students from Norwood High School.
It's our goal to tell the stories that matter most to the students at our school and the community that surrounds us.
To start off our final show of the year, we head down to the health department where students are becoming certified in some very important life-saving techniques.
And while there's new debate on how to administer some of those techniques, senior staff reporter Tori Giffen shows us how students are handling the new requirements in our cover story.
Everyone stand clear.
Seniors at Norwood High have been learning more than just their core subjects.
We are doing a real-world approach, and first term we are doing first aid and CPR.
Although seniors are required to become certified, there is another motive to pass.
All right, here we go.
It is important because you should know what to do in case you run across someone that is in need of emergency help.
Yo, call 911, get the AED.
But authorization also offers help in transitioning out of high school.
It helps if you are CPR certified, and a lot of jobs require you to be CPR certified.
Everyone stand clear.
Students are using these CPR mannequins to help them learn CPR, while this is an AED machine, which leads them step by step through the process without actually delivering a shock. However, there is debate on how CPR should be administered.
Some courses teach breaths and some don't. We are teaching the breaths, and we tell the kids, if it's your parent or someone, a loved one, you probably will want to do the breaths just because it's going to help circulate a little bit quicker. If it's someone you don't know, as long as you do the compressions, it's going to help.
Either way, knowledge of first aid is encouraged.
Well, I think with the first aid and CPR, it's just a real life skill that you should have. Anybody, not just seniors, but I think in life.
For Mustang Magazine, I'm Tori Giffen reporting.
7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, 13, 14.
Thanks, Tori. I think it's safe to say that we're all better off when more people know first aid and emergency response techniques.
Definitely. Next up, we visit Career Day at Norwood High School, where several professionals from the workforce came in to speak to juniors about possible career paths. Senior staff reporter Anthony Zona brings us the story.
Recently, the junior class took part in a career day created by the guidance department.
Whatever it is you do, you have the mindset and the heart for it.
We feel that a lot of times junior year students start to reach that kind of social maturity where they're ready for that next step and to be engaged with what this whole purpose is and like why they're doing all this work every day.
Professionals also wanted to help students find their way.
I think it's good for students to hear real stories from someone in the field, trying to give them the reality of it and whether they really want to go into this business, which I happen to love, but it's not for everyone.
Students appreciated this direct feedback from the field.
I really liked it. I liked seeing people who are firsthand, like in the career, rather than just like hearing about the career from other people who aren't even like a part of it.
And with this new information, students can save in the long run.
I think it's hard, especially with the cost of college now. Students are paying so much for college, and I think it's putting a lot of pressure on them to figure out their career when they're in high school, and you're not necessarily equipped to do that.
However, it is good to know that college isn't the only option.
I went into the Marine Corps after high school.
Sometimes I think students think like you have to do it this way, you have to go that way, and usually the stories behind these professionals are very unique and they went many, many different ways to get where they are today. So I think sharing some of those tells students that there's plenty of ways to get where you want to go.
For Mustang Magazine, I'm Anthony Zona reporting.
Thanks, Anthony. Hopefully juniors got some ideas about what their next step is after high school.
And while most students don't know exactly what they'll be doing after graduation, it's safe to say senior Jerry Watansky will be doing something in music.
In this next story, senior staff reporter Danny Sullivan catches up with the resident headbanger, and they break down some stereotypes about teenagers and their taste in music.
At first glance, Jerry Watansky seems like your typical heavy metal kid.
I'm a huge metal head, but I like a lot of classical music and jazz.
Probably not what you were expecting to hear. In fact, Jerry listens to much more than just metal.
I listen a lot to like old school, like hardcore rap.
And he even loves Taylor Swift.
I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. Everybody's like, but you're a metalhead. I'm like, yeah, well, good music's good music.
It's actually this diverse music taste that has led Jerry to transform as a musician.
I'm starting to study more jazz chords and music. Previously, I was in a lot of metal bands, and I love playing metal, but there are certain things I wanted to do as a musician where I felt more like myself.
His self-expression has often led people to think he's something he's not.
I used to wear a bunch of like death metal t-shirts that had like Morbid Angel and like death or just anything obscura. Everybody was like, oh, he's a Satanist, and you know, he doesn't like anybody, and he's just an evil person. He probably does spells, but really, like, I'm in love with flowers.
Go figure. The metal kid loves flowers. Stereotypes aside, Jerry feels music creates an emotional connection no matter what the genre.
It brings out a lot of different emotions that people like to keep hidden, like love, hatred, all that stuff. I just want people to be able to connect with me and know that they're not alone in certain things.
Jerry may be known as the metalhead, but he is much more than that. He's a musician with a passion for music and a desire to connect with others. Whether it be through heavy metal or classical, to Jerry, music is music. For Mustang Magazine, I'm Sadie Kroll.
Maybe one day we'll all read about Jerry in Rolling Stone magazine.
The arts are strong with Norwood students, but so are athletics. In this next story, we sit down with starting varsity pitcher and Division I commit Sean Mellon as he enters the home stretch of his high school career. Mustang sports blogger Steven Tribuna reports.
There's a ground ball. Weak ground ball to Galvin. He's got it. And he's on to Ryan.
After winning the state championship, many good things have happened to Norwood baseball, especially for senior pitcher Sean Mellon.
It's exciting to know I have somewhere to play baseball next year and not have to worry about where I'm going to be going to school next year. It's a great school. I really like the coaches, and I'm excited for it next year.
Good luck to Sean Mellon as he begins his collegiate pitching career at Northeastern University next fall.
Okay, now let's change things up a bit. Recently, the entry-level broadcast classes were working on their first feature stories, so we're going to show you a couple of them now.
First up, we've headed downtown to a shoe repair shop that's nearly a century old.
Sophomores Julia Higgins and Katherine Ryan bring us the story.
Since 1933, Frank Bellotta has been a part of a family-owned business known as Eagle Shoe Repair.
What we do is we repair soles and heels on shoes. We replace zippers. We do a lot of boot work. We do anything that's made out of leather.
Every day, Mr. Bellotta fixes someone's favorite pair of shoes in a short amount of time.
Everything is done basically by hand. We have plenty of machines that help us out, but many of the shoes that are made today require a lot of handwork. This shoe here needs a new sole and heel, and what we do on this, we rip this part off, we take this leather piece that's underneath and we replace it with a new bottom, and then we replace the heel on it.
I do help fix the shoes sometimes. I come in here and I help my grandpa and my mom out when I can. Hopefully in the future I can get this up and running and continue the business.
The best part of this job is that when you complete a job, you're very satisfied with your work. You have a chance to look at something and say, oh, we did this, this was our accomplishment, and we try to keep the people happy. We're able to do that probably with 99% of the customers that come into the store.
If you ever need your shoes fixed quickly, head on down to Eagle Shoe Repair on 51 Day Street in Norwood. Reporting from Mustang Magazine, I'm Julie Higgins.
Thanks, girls. Hopefully Mike Scavato can keep the store open for another generation.
For our second story from the entry-level class, we go into the woods. No, not to play, but literally.
That's where freshman reporters Emily Trahan and Myra Hines introduce us to the Snake Boy.
Sam Donnellan is an outdoor enthusiast and he has a passion for discovery.
The woods is where the unknown is. The unknown needs to be known. I think I should be one of the people who figures that stuff out.
Donnellan first became interested in nature at a young age when his dad brought him to the Savage Center for an after-school program.
I would always ask my dad if he could stop here so I can play at the park, and oftentimes I'll go into that small woods over there.
And after a while, people gave him a nickname.
Ever since kindergarten, I've been catching snakes, really, and someone just yelled Snake Boy and it kind of just stuck.
The perfect conditions for exploring in the woods is when it's dry and warm.
What's not to like? Fresh air, things to see. Like, really, what's not to like? I don't think there are anyone else in Norwood who, well, other than a couple people I know, who go out into the woods practically every day to catch wild animals.
Exploring and learning about wildlife is his passion, but the learning part hasn't necessarily been easy for Snake Boy.
I go to the Carroll School for Dyslexic Children. It's the best school ever. Like, anything that has to do with reading, writing, and language comprehension in general, that stuff's pretty hard for me. There's a class called Bounders. You can shoot a bow and arrow, canoe and kayak, go rock climbing, and you get to literally light a fire for a grade.
With the support of the Carroll School and years of experience exploring the woods, the Snake Boy has developed quite a philosophy of life.
Don't take any day for granted. Don't think any day is worthless. Every day you're on this earth, it's a gift. Normal people suck. Normal is a setting on a washing machine. Learn to tolerate the different, the weird, and the awesome.
And it's that type of drive that keeps the Snake Boy heading into the woods for another adventure.
I don't know what's gonna happen today. Yesterday is known, today is a gift, and tomorrow's a mystery. Hello?
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Myra Hines.
Hello? I don't see it.
Thanks, girls. That was awesome. It looks like the NHS-TV program's in good hands after we graduate.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourself there. We still got one more year on the hill. But speaking of graduation, there was one hometown hero who received his college diploma despite what seemed to be insurmountable odds.
Senior staff reporters Taylor Reed, Sadie Kroll, and Danny Sullivan team up for this report on Matt Brown as they visited him during his last semester of college. For those who don't know Matt Brown, here's his story.
I was 15, a sophomore. My mind wasn't on school. It was on a lot of social life.
Matt Brown never imagined his life could change in the matter of seconds.
I think I always imagined when Matt was 21 and Kelly was 20 that my husband and I would, they'd be all grown up and not need us. Clearly Matt still needs us and probably will for many years to come until he has gained more independence.
In January of 2010, I was playing hockey for Nord High, and during the second period of a game against Weymouth, I was racing for a puck, and as the puck came off the boards, I looked down and it was between my feet. And as I looked down, that's when I got bumped from behind, ended up going headfirst into the boards and actually breaking my neck in the C4 and C5 vertebrae.
Leaving him paralyzed from the neck down. One collision and Matt's life was on a new course.
It definitely changed everything in an instant. We went from kind of happy-go-lucky to you have to think about everything.
College, I crossed off my list when I got hurt.
Like college, many things seemed out of reach for Matt, but he's made huge strides in his recovery.
It's funny to look back at those, at the early pictures and at the early videos of how sick I was. And now I'm here living at school.
As time goes by, he's realized each little step that he makes that he can do more and more.
And he has done just that.
I'm amazed. I really see him do everything he wants to do. I think there was a part of us that thought Matt's life stopped at that period of time. He was the one who said it changed, it didn't end.
Matt's life hasn't taken the course he would have expected, but it has made him the person he is today.
A third grader asked me once if I could click a button, would I change everything? If I could go back to January 2010, and I don't know if I would. It was definitely a wake-up call, and I think it changed me in the right way.
For Mustang Magazine, I'm Sadie Kroll.
Congratulations to Matt Brown on his recent graduation from Stonehill. We wish him the best of luck, as well as all the seniors from Norwood High School who are graduating this month.
Well, that's all we have for this show and this season of Mustang Magazine. For more stories like these, please visit our website at www.mustang.media or hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat.
And be sure to catch our Summer Look Back show in July. We'll be back in the fall with some brand new stories.
Until then, I'm Juliana Shalmo.
And I'm Ron Marshalsea.